Marshall was making a point about former players moving into front office jobs, moving into coaching jobs, and why he sees it happening more in other sports and not in football. So, Marshall, I want you to kind of get us going, restate your position, and then I'll hop in.
I was just, if you take a look around the landscape of sports and you watch what's going on in baseball, basketball, even to a degree in hockey, a lot of the managers, front office guys are guys that played in the game at a high level. Actually, the guy, the general manager, the young general manager for the Texas Rangers, 10-year pitching career. And what he was able to do and gathering talent and putting it together. For some reason in football, you got to go get the coffee and you got to push people papers. You got to do certain things before they look at your resume of work. If Warren Sapp played, 15 years and he learned some stuff from some guys, that means he doesn't have to go get the coffee. That means he doesn't have to do the work that you're saying he has to do, that you had to do because you didn't play the game. Being in the locker room as a player and being around an organization as a player sometimes is looked at as a negative. It's looked at as a negative if you want to work in the front office to some degree. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of great GMs. You'll hear a lot of names. But Ozzie Newsome was in a locker room, and he built some amazing teams, and he drafted some awesome players.
Yes, sir.
and there's more Ozzie Newsomes out there if you look at what John Lynch is doing.
I agree with you. To this degree, though, or I would push back in this way. How are NFL players managing their reputation off the field while they're players? And so again, I know it's not everybody because everybody doesn't do the same thing, but if your reputation as a football player or the culture of football is seen as we hit the clubs, we run with rappers, we are wannabe rappers, it smears the reputation of a Marshall Faulk or some others if that's how, again, it's like, do I want to take the guy, the great player from the player culture, or do I want to take the guy who the entire time he was in the National Football League, No. He was presenting himself the way Marshall Faulk did as a football player. Like, I'm a student of the game. I'm that guy.
You know how many times a good player who's a student of the game gets overlooked as a student of the game by just perception. That's the one thing Tony Dungy taught me a long time ago. Perception will become the reality if it's strong enough. But that's not the truth of the man. Do you really want to dig and see what kind of man that is, or you just going to glaze over him? Because he was a player. In that we went to the club era. GMs don't go to clubs?
Let's
just ask you.
Let's
didn't go to college?
Let's stop pretending like we're talking about character, all right? And my character, because I come from the hood, may look different. Hanging with the rapper, going to the club is no different than hanging with the country singer, chilling out at the bar, getting slush drunk. All right, I'm just saying.
Gronkowski is not going to get a head coaching job.
I'm not saying Gronk is, and I'm not going to call any names.
All right,
but it is what it is. We got head coaches that's slouched over behind the wheel, intoxicated. We got that happening. Head coaches,
no question.
I'm just saying it. But we all make mistakes, so let's not use the character issue as to why this thing is about X's and O's. If you can win games, guess what? You're gonna get a job.
There's certain I'll just take me. I can't speak for NFL ownership. There's certain guys that, regardless of what their reputation is, I would stand on the table for and say, that guy's a student of the game. That guy's a leader. That guy deserves an opportunity. Ed Reed is emotional, but man, that dude was a student of the game. And Ray Lewis, I don't care about Atlanta. I like me some Ray Lewis. I'm just sorry, that guy.
Go to trial.
I got it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I would vouch for Ray Lewis's passion, authenticity about wanting to be a leader and deserving an opportunity to coach. Your reputation as a student of the game, everybody knew it. Everybody knew it.
I'm not talking about that aspect. All right. You have that, and you have us as players to where you can go to that. Can you tell me the reputation of the Arizona Cardinals head coach 10 years ago? No, the one that they have now. 10 years ago. Tell me, can you stand on the table for him?
No.
But you'll hire him.
Not me.
I'm just saying.
Can you tell me the buzz offensive coordinator?
I'm just saying what it is.
Sometimes too much information can be
a horrible thing.
A bad thing. Yeah. And so you might meet a girl who just moved to your city and you on the surface, this looks good, I'll hire her. But back in her hometown, everybody's man, everybody's running through that.
Too much information has never been a bad thing.
But it can hurt you. It can hurt you in terms of opportunity. People may have judged you by what you did 10 years ago.
No, it can only hurt you if they don't want to hire you.
Yep.
If they don't want to hire you,
they'll find a reason.
You got to remember, we've decided now what the NFL Combine is. Let's gather information to not draft you, because what you saw on film is good enough to draft me.
But don't believe your lying eyes. Dig for something.
Understand what it is. This isn't like, this information is these guys that, Eric Bieniemy, I'm just going to use him. They have enough information to not hire him. The guy that you see in Arizona right now, all right?
You're embarrassing me right now because I can't even call his name.
Right.
I remember Kingsbury.
No, he's the DC. He's the DC. And
yeah, I know.
You don't even know. And he was the DC for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh,
all right.
Steichen? No, that's in the Colts.
No, that was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
that's the offensive coordinator. Yeah. All right. We don't even know them. We don't have enough information. But let me just hire you. Let me give you. 5 years ago, you could have gave up 1,000 yards a game as a high school DC, but we don't care. So which is it? More information so you can hire, or less information
so we can find out after we hire?
Because every player, there's enough information about who I was as a 21-year-old. If you want to hire me now at 35 or 40, are you going to hold that against me? Really?
No, I certainly don't. Look,
I'm just saying, are you going to hold that against me?
That's what they do.
Because, okay. So because I played and you know what I did at 25, at 45, that's going to hold me back?
Two whole decades.
So let's just go a layer deeper. And let's get dangerous. So as a hiring person, you will sit there and say, is this guy's personal life together so that he can actually do this job? Or does he got baby mama drama? Is he sloppy with his personal life off the field? He's juggling too many women. And again, I'm not in this. That's regardless of color. Coaches, I'll name Doug Collins when he was in the NBA. That was his reputation. It's like he loved women, and someone should have evaluated that and said, well, that's going to get in the way of coaching. And I like Doug Collins. I hope if Doug Collins sees this, don't be mad at me. I like you, Doug. You've always treated me well. But again, these are questions that hiring people ask. Like, is your home life organized in a way that you can commit to the work that it takes to do this job? And sometimes guys' home life, the mistakes you make at 19, 20, 25, 30 can make your adult life at 45 more complicated.
I don't disagree with that. And I totally understand what you're saying. And the question is the person asking the questions, is their home life?
He who had, a man with the gold makes the rules now.
I'm just saying.
The man with the gold makes the rules.
But we're not dealing with personal perception. We're dealing with public perception. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, you're going to hire what you can tolerate. And what you can't tolerate, you're going to fire.
Yep.
That's just the reality of it.
When the talent and the toleration meet, that's when it's got to go.
That's just the reality of it. Yeah. When you look at this guy, you're trying to see the last thing. If I'm hiring somebody, the last thing I'm gonna hire is somebody I can't have dinner, have drinks, have a beer with.
Hello.
I'm just not gonna do that.
Nope.
If I don't see myself having dinner, drinks, sitting down having a beer, having a conversation, no commonalities, I'm probably not hiring you.
I don't.
Probably not hiring you.
Here's what again.
If I'm doing the hiring. Now, I could be the owner of the team and have someone else doing the hiring and say, that's on you.
If I'm doing the hiring, it's not about who I can have a drink with or anything like that. It's about, is that person going to be able to show up every day and be a consistent leader and not have such a chaotic personal life that it interferes with their professional life. And I've talked on this show all the time about all the mistakes that I made and I'm here I am 56 and I can't believe, man, no kids and all that. But if I'm a hiring person, I'm sitting there going, man, Whitlock ain't got no kids. He can work as long as he wants to, as many hours as possible because he has less responsibility. And I'm not saying to be my way is the proper way, but they are evaluating whether or not is this guy in a sloppy marriage. I
could look at you and say, Whitlock done ran and whatever. He has no kids, and he got a lot of time and a lot of space not to be at this job.
I mean, our greatest
head coach. They can look at it both ways, right?
The guy that you touted as the greatest, he just got married like a few years ago.
I thought he just got divorced.
You talking
about Belichick?
Yeah, didn't he just get married?
And bring a new niece to the owners meeting every year.
I don't know about that.
I'm just letting you know the word on the street. So that's Bill's new niece right there. You know, like what?
But I thought it was just an announcement of like he got married. I thought it was. I thought so. Like literally, I don't know. I don't know him that well, but I thought he just. I mean, if being married or having has to do with you coaching.
What was he doing at 20 years ago? I think he was married. What was he doing as an assistant with Bill Parcells? I think, I do think he got divorced in maybe the last 4 or 5, 6 years. Right. I can't remember.
So you can't judge.
But I'm saying now we're talking about 20 years later with 6 Super Bowl rings or how many ever Super Bowl rings he's got. And
So you can tolerate it.
Yeah, because of the success.
So you can tolerate it. And then again, it depends on who owns the team as well.
Yep.